Wow, it's a wonderful Thursday evening, the last Thursday in June. Glory to God. Hello, wonderful people. It's such a great pleasure to be your moderator today again. My name is Pibore Okukulabe, and this is Vision Resource Series, hosted by Vision International Christian Ministries. I want to welcome all our regular attendees and, of course, our first-time guests. Please let's give an e-clap for all our first-time guests. We're so glad to have you here with us today. Thank you for making out time to be here. Wow, we are so set for this topic. Now, last month, we began the topic, maintaining balance for optimal productivity. And our host shared some key points. But before I introduce our host, I want to see how attentive you were all in class. So those of us online right now, can you just share a few points from what our host shared last month? Maintaining balance for optimal productivity. So let me see how many people can remember some of the things that were shared during our last edition. Just one or 2 minutes. Let me see if I will see anybody that would respond. What were your take homes from our last topic, from the part 1 of maintaining balance for? It requires intentionality. Thank you, Yanulua. Maintaining balance requires intentionality. Any other volunteers this evening or this afternoon or morning, wherever you're joining us from? Any other? One more person, please. Okay, we'll just move on. So yes, our host shared, there were certain keywords that stood out for me last time. And one was be intentional, even distribution of responsibilities. For you to be able to maintain balance, you must have an even distribution of responsibilities. And he said also that we should start now. You shouldn't wait for a good time. Start from where you meet this message. So wherever you hear maintain balance, begin to make plans for it, and then examine yourself. Examine yourself. All right. So just a few house rules. For those of you here on the Zoom platform, please drop your questions in the Q&A box, and you can make use of the chat room. We have our chat room support and tech support available. If you're having any issues at all, you can chat with them and they'll get right back to you. And then for those of you on Facebook, please drop your comments in the comment section, your questions also, and they will send it to us, and then we can answer during the course of the discussion. Now, our host today is pumped up, ready to, unpack part 2 as he wraps up this topic. And I want you to be as attentive as you can. And so please join me as I make welcome our wonderful host, Francis Olubambi, as he wraps up the topic, maintaining balance for optimal productivity.
Thank you, Pibore. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, thank you for doing this again, sir. We, after part 1, we received a lot of feedback, great feedback and testimonies from our participants. And I know that you are passionate to see leaders do better at their callings as pastors, business people, students, family people, whatever area that they occupy at this time. And I want to celebrate you, sir, for taking out the time to study this topic and to bring out the salient points that we can go home with. So as we begin today, sir, I want to start off by asking again. I know you explained it earlier, but I think we want it much broader. What is the relevance of this topic? And does it apply to everyone?
Thank you, Pibori. Let me start by answering your Part B. This topic is relevant to everybody. The adult, the led, and the lead is relevant. So it's for because we all have life. Now, the question is this: what is the relevance of this topic? I will give like 4 or 5 points that I consider to be very relevant. Why we should take this topic, understand it, and deal with it. It is so important. This topic is so important because of what we are facing in our world today. There are a lot of imbalance in our lives. Which resulted in, this imbalance resulted in stress, in divorce, family issues. In fact, it has been proven that the rate of murder and mental problems increased by almost 30%. We all knew what pandemic, some of us are still, having it or expressing it, the effect of pandemic on our world is just there. So many people are going through stress, through pains, through difficulties. It's just there. Let me say this. So many people don't understand their being. You are not, you are born, or let me say, you are not born to be solo. You as a person, you are not just what you do alone. You compose of so many things. The theologians will say we are tripartite, that we are comprises of soul, spirit, and body. And if these three are not in harmony, there is going to be problem.
Yeah.
Though, and the social scientists made us to understand that human being comprises of more than even three. They believe that you have emotions.
Yeah.
Human being, you have intelligence. You have you are a social being. You are, some of them believe that you are a spiritual being. Now, is when the whole beings, if I should put it like that, are in harmony, that when they work together is that time that they are, is that time that you enjoy your life, you enjoy yourself, you enjoy everything. What we see because of the pandemic, because of what is happening in our world today, it seems as if one is depriving or impressing one or two of these competencies. One is impressing it. So either you are impressing it by being workaholic, or you don't have anything, by being lazy, rustic, and you don't do anything. So the imbalance is so pronounced. And the topic like this need to come up so that we can seek to maintain the balance. Because the unity, like I said, of the whole is what produces your you. You are not you. Or the you in you is not completed until every part of you is being, is experiencing manifestation.
Wow.
It's that time that the you in you is okay. I don't know if that is a little bit philosophical. So the you in you must manifest. If the you in you is not manifesting, or if there is one you, which is education, the intellect, in the intelligence part of you is what you are feeding every day, and you are not feeding the social part of you, you will be imbalanced. If you are feeding the social part of you and you are not feeling or feeding the emotional part of you, you will be imbalanced. So everything must be in harmony. And this topic is so important because it's a struggle for you to maintain the spiritual, the psychological, the social, the everything. For you to keep them in balance, it's just like when you see a mixer, a music mixer, you will see everything, the tenor, the bass, everything must be going like this. But if one is just not moving, there will be problem with the harmonious of the music.
Wow. So there has to be a unity of the whole. First of all, we are not just solo. We're not created to be solo. As a human being, you're supposed to do so many. So what you are saying is that you're not telling people not to do, just to do one thing. You are telling us today that no matter what field we're in, no matter how many things we're able to do, everything must have harmony. That's what you're saying. Very good.
Sure.
Wow, that's a wonderful one. So the unity of the whole and the deliberate attempt not to deprive any part is what we call balance. Moving on, sir. So as we look at it, yes, the world came and the pandemic came and disrupted, COVID-19 disrupted a lot. That's one challenge. But as you have studied this, sir, what are the challenges that really hinder someone from maintaining balance?
Now, number one, my dear sister, is lack of understanding of your personhood. Lack of understanding of your personhood. For example, what causes frustration? What causes disappointment? What will make someone, for example, to go and commit suicide? So it's like he doesn't understand that after A, there is still B, and after B, there is still C. One part of you may face some stress or deface or inactive. That doesn't mean you should kill the other part. Now, but if you understand your personhood, that you are not solo, you are composed or comprises of so many parts of you, so that you can sing harmonious songs that are like orchestra kind of songs. And that is what your life should produce. If you understand that, if there is one part of your life that is not measuring up, you will quickly dictate it. And what will you do? You fix it. So lack of understanding of who we are as a person is number one thing, in my opinion. Number two, in my opinion, is lack of awareness of our purpose and what we have been called to do or commissioned to do. If I should say that, you know, we see people, especially in the business world, people are beating around the bush. They want to do this, they want to do that. Even in the church world, they want to do so many things. I remember when I started ministry 30-something years ago, I was trying to mimic now Pastor Ayo Orishajafa, I think is now a bishop. I was trying to mimic, and when I preach, I would be shaking my head. At the end of the preaching, I would be looking for paracetamol. And it's like I will feel dejected. In fact, before I finish preaching, I will be having headache. This is how you can preach 3 hours like that. I'm preaching 30 minutes and I'm suffering. No, because I don't understand my real person. I don't understand the purpose. Let me just put it like this, because I don't stay on the track. I don't stay on my lane. I don't stay on my lane. I think, and I remember, I won't tell you all the story. I mean, God called me to be a teacher, to teach the word of God, which is okay, it's good enough for me. And I wanted to do evangelists, because I think evangelists are most praised and most, they give a lot of honor to the evangelists. And I went to a place and I preached the word the first day. I mean, a lot of salvation. I thought that was not enough, and I wanted to test my so-called the gift of evangelist. I want to heal. And I did it, and I shook everything, and they brought 2 in Westside, 2 of them. and I preach and I jump up and down. They were just looking at me. I said, in the name of Jesus, move. They were just looking at me, and so I suffered that day. Throughout that night, I almost have heart attack. 2 or 3 years in my ministry, I almost have heart attack. Why? Because I did not stay on the track. And what happens? Everything paralyzed. Now, what I'm saying is this. I mean, if we don't stay on the course, if we don't stay on our line, we'll be sweating and we'll be wasting time. Let me just mention 2 more. I mean, things that I think is lack of, that I think hinder someone to be balanced. Misplaced priorities. If we have misplaced priorities, now there is no way that we will be balanced. I want to be this, I want to be that. We don't necessarily understand the reading, the agenda, the purpose, the programming of God for our life, and we misplace our priority. We want to dabble into this, dabble into that, do this, do that. That will be imbalance. And finally, in my opinion, is what I call the competitive spirit. It's not to be, competitive spirit in a way, it's not bad, but when we want to do it to outshine another person, we will over-labor ourselves and we will end up being stressful. So I call it fear of losing out. When you are occupied that I don't want to lose, I don't want to lose, you will at the end of the day, lost everything.
Awesome. So as simple as you put it, sir, these are profound statements, lack of understanding. Really, when you fully understand your roles and who you are, then you would know how to appropriately do the things that you need to do. And then I see a lot of people in that fear of losing out. Thank you for clarifying this. As we move on, sir, as you said these things, can you itemize some of the benefits that someone would have when the person maintains balance? What are some of the benefits that are there so that I can keep maintaining my balance?
Thank you, Pibori. I think I have few of them here. If you maintain balance, some of the benefits, it makes you more productive, and gives you more better performance. I strongly believe this, that you don't need to tear yourself. You need to wear yourself out. Now, I strongly believe, yes, I know in so many organizations, when you get to 70, you retire. But you know what? So many people, before they get to 70, they are tired. They are tired. My thinking is this, that even at 80, you can still be very useful. You may not be on the same performance like you were before. Now, get what I'm saying. It makes you more productive in your work, at the office, and even in your family. You'll be more productive. You will be a better person. When I say better performance, your children will see you and they will be happy. If we are not balanced and we are cheating on 1 or 2 or 3 of our beings, what will happen is this: the one we give priority to, it will be overblessed, if I should use it, and the one we don't give priority to, we just suffer, we die. Give good example. Let me talk to pastors. If as a pastor you get too much involved in the things of the church, to the detriment of your family, to the detriment of your wife, you don't have relationship with your children, you don't have relationship with your wife or your husband, as the case may be, you don't care for them, you just say souls are perishing, it's good for you to do it. It's good for you to do it, but one day you will regret it. One day you will regret it. Because the way you are made is that you should do the work in the office, and you should also do it at home. Your church members should enjoy you. Oh, good pastor. Your husband, your wife, or your husband should enjoy you as a good partner. Intimate relationship. And your children, the contract you have with your children averagely is 25 years. After 25 years, the net is empty. Now, instead of, if you are not a good friend and a good father to your children when they are young and you think you are just carrying the work of the ministry, you may probably be that friend to your children at your old age. You understand what I mean by that friend?
Yes, sir.
Oh, let me give money to that man, to my pa, because my pa is disturbing me. I don't want him to be calling. You don't need to be calling and be begging your children before they support you at your old age. Now, so what I'm saying is this: the benefit is it makes you more productive and better and gives you better performance. Number two, it reduces stress and tension. What we have in our world today is so stressful. There is no one that can win the whole world. You are in the ministry, you cannot do the job or have all the profit of your town. You cannot control it. Dangote is the richest person in Nigeria, but you know what? Dangote's money is a fraction when we compare all the money that we have in Nigeria. I hope you understand that. Now, if you pursue money to the detriment of your health, to the detriment of your pleasure, to the detriment of your social being, what will happen? At a day, one will crash. One will crash. Now, I put it that it makes you to last long and remain fresh. Balance, this issue of balance makes you to last long. You don't need to die before your retirement, and you don't even need to be tired after your retirement. The organization may retire you at 80 or at 70 or at 60, but that doesn't mean that you are retired, or that doesn't mean that you are tired. If you are not balanced, you will be tired before your time. So you need to understand it. That, I mean, another benefit, in my opinion, is that it is a way of building one's legacy. Balance is a way of building your legacy. Building your legacy as the lover of your children. I was telling Pibori today, I saw my wife. We have been married over 30 years. I saw her because I have time for her, right? And nobody will tell me that I'm a lazy man. I have time. I do my work and I enjoy my work. I enjoy what I'm doing. But I have time, quality time for my wife every day. At times I will sing and I will be dancing. I just want her to be happy, and I'm happy. Don't tell me that I'm carnal. Yes, I have blood and flesh in me. That still make me to be carnal. And don't tell me that I am not. No, I will be dancing and I will be singing and I just want her to smile. I just want her to say some things that makes me happy, and that keeps me this week I saw her plating her hair, and it was good. And I was almost trying to take her pictures. Wow, you are so this, you are so that. Let me tell you this: if I don't do that, there is tendency for me to see another person outside, and I will appreciate that person. This simple something I'm saying now has put a lot of people into trouble, especially the business executive, the CEO, the senior pastors, that they don't show emotions at home. The only emotion they show is sex. So let's do it now. 1, 2, 3, go. Pop. And off they go. And they go and sleep. They don't show emotion. They think they are not emotional being. They don't show appreciation. What happens? One day, the emotion part of them, the appreciation part of them, that part of them that appreciates things, we just see their secretary, see a lady in the office, and crisis will happen. Now, the point I'm making is this will help us. That is the benefit. Understanding this will help us to remain. Let me say one more. It also helps us to increase one's creativity. When we are balanced in the way we do things, we will be more productive and we'll be more creative and have more ideas. Yes, Pibore, or you want me to continue?
In fact, Reverend, especially when you talked about making you more productive and now talking about increasing one's creativity. As somebody that, working with you, I've realized that especially because most of the things we do are mental, the days that I am not settled in my mind, I really can't do so much. The day that I get in and my house is this or that, I'm not settled. So these are salient points that you are sharing with us today, sir. I want to say thank you for that. Now, as you've told us, why we should do this, what are the challenges in doing this, you've also now told us the benefits. People want to know, I want to know, because I want to get better at it. How can you share some effective ways, practical steps that somebody can take in maintaining balance for optimal productivity?
Wow, thank you, Pibore. Let me start by saying, number one, in maintaining balance, we need, or you need, to put your role, your duty, your calling in perspective. You need to put it. As a woman, your role in the office as the administrator ends in the office. And when you get home, your role as a mother, as a friend, as a wife should start there. Now, I know as CEO, and I know you will tell me that after all, maybe if your husband is listening now, he will say, I think this man, you called my wife again and again in the weekend. Once a while, it could be, and I will go to that. But the basic something I'm trying to put is this: office should be office and home should be home. Now, you are a boss in the office. You are not a boss in your house. You are a friend. You are a husband. You are a wife. You are a father, and you are, excuse me, like a partner. The mistake we do, even pastors, the mistake we do is this: we put our pastoral garment, our pastoral, the cassock and everything, we put it on to your house. No, it should not be. Well, in your pastor's office, you are that spiritual man, spiritual woman. Good for you. But back home, you are Mr., you are Mrs. Now, if we don't have this good perspective, that doesn't mean that you are not. By the way, people that are not pastors, we still expect them to be holy, right? Now, don't try, maybe you and your wife or you and your children, every time you are quoting, you are trying to preach, you are trying to tell them how spiritual you are, how theological accuracy you have in every issue. No. So you need to put your role in perspective. That is extremely, extremely important. Let me put it this way. You grew up before you became what you are now, maybe a pastor, a business guru. You grew up with people. You have relationship. Those relationships nurture you, mature you, and make you to be whom you are. They gave you perspective about life or persuasion that you are following. You don't need to neglect all those. You don't need to. Now, another thing, you need to consider time management. You need to schedule time for your different roles. Schedule time for your different roles. There's time for everything under this. I mean, that is what the Bible says. Time to sleep, time to play, time to watch TV, time to go to the office. Though in Lagos, it's not that very strong. You may say, no, I'm going to the office 8 o'clock and I want to get to the office 9 o'clock. You may get to the office 12, you close 4 o'clock, you get home 10 o'clock, several hours on the road. But basically in a civilized country or cities, there should be time for everything.
Yeah. Very true.
Yes, there should be time for everything. Let me quickly say 2 more things or 3 things. So I say list out all you want to do and apportion time for it appropriately. Don't cheat on anything or any of your being. Don't kill any of your being. Don't put any of your being into praising. Don't cheat on anything. Enjoy your social life. Enjoy your spiritual life. Try to enjoy everything. Your intellectual reading, read news, read books, enjoy it. Refresh. Most leaders emphasize on one area, e.g. prayer. It's like it's praying. No, it's not only prayer. You are composed of everything. You are a holistic being, a holistic person. Now, let me say this quickly. Try to be careful of your phone usage. Your phone usage. Technology never changed your mind, your mindset. Put systems and structure in place. I was discussing with one of my good friends. They said, I don't off your phone. He said, I don't off my phone. He's like, he's saying it with ego. I said, so in the night, you don't off your phone? He said, yes. What if you are trying to talk with your wife on bed, so your phone will be ringing? I said, no, tell me, you have been in the ministry for long. Before we have GSM in 2001?
2001.
2002. What were you a pastor? He said yes. Did you have church members? He said yes. So why are they communicating? Because I asked him, he said, because of church members. I've been a pastor probably 15 years before GSM came. And I pastor a church of almost 1,000. So church members people don't leave my church because they were not able to speak to me or speak with me in the night. Now that I should sleep, they too should sleep. So organize your church. Be careful of the way you appraise technology. Don't allow it to take you away. Have devoted family time and select time for rest. Let me say this because of the time allotted. Lead from rest. Let me repeat it. Lead from rest as a leader. Don't lead out of rest. So you should lead. I had this from two people that I respected so much. You should lead from rest. So every year, every week, you look at, now, this Saturday, what do I have for Saturday? I need to have my 2 hours of devotion or my 2 hours of quiet time in the morning with my children. I need to have 1 hour with my husband. We need to do this thing. So every other thing I can give it to other people. Don't try to put your rest in between. Rest is very important. Jesus rested. God rested. So if you want to maintain balance, physical balance now, you should lead from rest. Remember I said this, don't tear yourself away or tear yourself apart. Please don't die before your time. Lead from rest. And finally, on this, in my opinion, compensate. Compensate any part that you have cheated. Compensate it or compensate them. If you have been working, for example, Peabody for almost 1 week now, you came back from Gambia probably around this time yesterday, today you are in Festac, tomorrow you'll be going to Ogun State, on Saturday to Abuja. Next week, compensate it. So who have you been cheated? So you have cheated on your children, cheated on your rest, cheated on your husband, the time of fellowship with your husband. So you need to have like 2 or 3 days, compensate them. Let them be happy. If not, so crisis will come one day. I'm not prophesying evil into your family or into your life, but that is just life. Compensate.
Wow. Wow, thank you so much, sir. Because I've heard leaders over the years say things like, leaders don't need to rest, or, leaders keep going on. But you said something here, and that is leading from rest and not leading to rest. So thank you for giving us practical ways. Another area, that we're all very guilty of is the phone usage. I believe that once we can control that, sometimes people don't know how long they are spending on their phones. They really don't know. Your child is talking to you, and then you are using that time to work on your phone. May God help us, sir. Then you already started talking about it, but I want you to touch on some of the non-negotiables. We are all busy. Yes, we all have things we have to do. Sometimes you work in seasons. At this season, there's something you need to do, like you explained. This is a busy season for us. So there are certain things that we are doing at this time. So what are the non-negotiables that a leader or anybody watching us right now, they should not touch? What are those things, in your opinion?
For the faith people, for people of faith that I know a majority of us are Christians here, don't play with your time with God. Don't just compromise it. Don't compromise it. That's number one. Your time of devotion, your time of reading the Bible, your time of listening to God, your time of going to church. Don't compromise it. Nothing. Money cannot buy it. And by the way, I think, let me talk to my dear pastors listening to me. Pastors, time is money. On Sunday, don't waste people's time too unnecessarily in the church. Thanksgiving, this, that. They get to the church 8 o'clock and they are still there 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And you said the holy day. Who told you that on Sunday is the holy day? In those days, it was Saturday. And the way the complexity or the way things were in those days, it's not like that today. Don't waste people's time. Preach the word of God. Bless people. Tell them the way of God. Draw them closer to God. Now, because most people, they only have Sunday as day of rest. So if you are not careful, you waste too much of people. You hope you will not start burying people very soon. I'm just, yes, wow. Don't waste people. You see the way people are dying today. They just small thing. Because, they say stress, heart attack, it is that. People need rest. So number one, don't compromise your time with God. In fact, pastors should build people up to have time with God. Time with God, time of fellowship, time of commitment to God. They one alone with God. You understand what I mean? Number one, be serious. Number two, be serious with your loved ones. Be serious. I tell you this, and people that I don't fake. I am serious with my wife, my relationship with my wife and my children. That's after God. That's, the priority, most priority. Because I know if I lost everything, no job today, no this today, if my wife is still there standing and my children are still there standing, I know I still have everything. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm saying this from experience. So don't compromise your relationship with your loved ones. Pay attention to people. Pay attention to your head, rather. Pay attention to your head. It's extremely important. Don't be workaholic. Workaholic doesn't pay. It removes things from you. Don't say, I'm workaholic. I want people to know that I'm this. And no, don't be workaholic. Don't. We don't want you to die before your time. Taking care of yourself, you need to take care of yourself. If God gives you money, eat good food, have good rest. Now, rest is God's giving. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I tell people, and I know I've been saying this to pastors and to people that anytime I train, they will say, no money. Who told you? Plan for it. For example, in Nigeria, I know just this killing and all the rest, and kidnapping. In those days, in Kogosi, they have a lot of good places, and you can get to places like Olumo Rock in Abeokuta with 50,000. You can rest for 2 or 3 days. Rest. And you should know this. You need to give time. Give time to your people that are dear to you, people that you want to mentor, people that you want to develop. Yes, ma'am.
Wow. I wonder you to just continue, sir, and not stop, really, because you hit certain areas, and we already have a couple of questions, and I know that there are some concepts you're going to share with us as we wrap up, but I think at this time we should take some questions from our participants. There's a question here that says that can everything really be in unison? Can things really be balanced? Is this a possibility that, because you are saying now harmony, this one, that one, but really, can things really be balanced? Yes, sir.
Okay. Theoretically, the answer will be yes. But practically, the answer may seem to be no. But get it. We should seek to maintain it. If everything is just something you can be balanced, I will just say, okay, go to the market, go to Aswani market, go and buy balance. No, because everything is demanding it to be prominent and to take number one in your life. Everything is demanding its attention. For example, to enjoy, to be merry, may be demanding too much. Or maybe working, especially for people that are working and they are very successful, they just want to work today, Benin, tomorrow, Abuja, next tomorrow, India. All those things are there. But you know what? Money is not everything. In fact, in one of my concepts, money is meant for 3 things that I will, maybe if I have time, I will share with you. So you need to seek for money appropriately, but you need to have time with your family, same appropriately. So in juggling between the two, let me use this as an example. So life is all like this. So, it's like for you to put it in this, it's tinting to this, and at times it moves to this. So it's like a life struggle that you will be moving it up and down. That is the reality. But your consciousness about this is what matters. For example, if you have been giving too much attention to walking, do you need rest? The answer is yes. Okay, let me tell you a practical example. My first son, I love to walk and I love my children to have proper education. In fact, before we had them, I have been doing, and I was struggling. I never had attention. I never give them attention. One day I came home. My son was asking, who is this man? That is me. Asking me, who is this man? He went to the, so when he was doing something that I was trying to correct him, he went to the man. I said, will you tell this man to go back to where he comes from? So I am the man.
Wow.
I am working. I am trying to do everything for this boy to be happy. But the boy, it's not money that he appreciates. What he really wants is my love, the touch of me carrying him, saying, son, I love you. Yeah. Let me show you. Let me tell you. So when you are struggling for money for your children, as good as it, sending them to America, sending them to the best university in the whole world, as good as it is, that does not give you the real joy you want.
That's true.
The real joy of training your children is for them to be like you.
Wow.
Is for them to resemble you. So if you are training and you think they are getting first class or getting to the best Ivy League college is what gives you joy and fulfillment, you are lying. You are lying. There will still be a hole in your life. So what I'm just saying is this, you need to seek to balance.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yes, another, in fact, Reverend, there are so many questions. Now, there are two I'm going to combine, and this is an employee talking to his or her boss. What should you do when you have a boss that is not disciplined when it comes to calling? He consistently and constantly calls anytime, including 9 times, just to give instruction that is not important or can be postponed. So in regard to this, there's another question that now says, how do you set boundaries, especially as it regards your work? Because some bosses don't believe in rest. They don't believe that you should rest until you break down. That's when they believe that you should slow down. So as an employee, how does somebody, juggle this, sir?
Yes, you know what? Have conversation. Because as that question came, I laughed and I said, at times I do that too. I do that, to be honest with you. I mean, honest listening, conversation. I do that. For example, I can call Felix 20, 30 times a day. I do that, more importantly, that I've been away. Now, there should be conversation. There should be conversation. For example, I do a little bit of that to you, but when I discover that you don't like picking my calls in the weekend, on weekends, right? Yeah. I decided not to call you. Saturday, I give it to you as your holiday. On Sunday, I give it to you as your sacred day. I decided not to call you. So if you have a boss like that, there should be conversation. And if you're a boss here like me, that you have almost the same temperament like me, and probably you are away, you need to work at it. It's a struggle between especially the high D's. Maybe you know the temperament. They hide this, they have idea, they just want to vomit it because they don't want things, they want this. So you need to really examine it, and you really need to work. There are some people, in any organization, you have what I call the inner caucus theory. Those are the theory base, In the Old Testament, they said the theory base people. In the New Testament, Jesus have the theory people that he really, 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 they said one was even putting his head on the word. The closest, John the Beloved, kind of a thing. So if you have those people that at times that may not be, time may not be of great value, but if you are like that, there should be conversation for people like me should work at it or work on themselves to reduce those tensions. Wow. One thing is sure, the work will continue. I suspect that person that asked that question will come from my office.
Well, the person put anonymous, so I don't know who it is. Okay. But the truth is, Reverend, I've discussed with several people in recent times, and this is the case. I have a friend that, just says, I can't wait to get out of that office. My madam is something else, So I think that really, like you said, having that conversation, you must be able to set boundaries. And thank you for being vulnerable, sir, and being willing to adjust because a lot of senior leaders are watching, they are hearing this from you and they're like, really? So thank you for being vulnerable, sir. Moving on, there are 2 questions I would join also. This is from a pastor. He says that how can a full-time pastor balance ministry with family? At times, a full-time pastor tends to feel extremely indebted to ministry. He has to do extra miles, perhaps because the church is the one paying him or her. And then, can you shed more light on the order? God first, family before ministry. If family is under pressure or not united, there's no church. So can you put those 2 together, sir? The order, and then how can a pastor, a full-time pastor, balance ministry with family?
I still think a full-time pastor, be sure and be assured of your calling as a full-time pastor. Now, you don't need to kill yourself, because I tell you this, if you should drop dead on Saturday, another person will preach on your altar on Sunday. That is the fact. Most pastors, or so many pastors these days, they take Monday off, and they resume work on Tuesday, Thursday, which is a bit light, they take Thursday off. You can balance it by saying every first 2 hours of the day, I will spend it with my family, or in the evening after 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. And it's not every day. I don't think there's all the churches doing programs every day. 8 o'clock, this is, I will be with my family. We will listen to the news together. We will do everything with the family, pray together, have devotion together, tell them how much you appreciate them. You should be able to do that. It's important. Now, you said I should say how everything is. My opinion, God, your love for God should be absolute, followed by your family. This is radical. It should follow by your family and your ministry. Because either you like it or not, at 70 years, your ministry to your church, to your organization is almost ending. You still have your family, right? Now, and even who is number 1 member of your church, of your ministry?
Family.
Your family. Yeah. Your family. Win Cordero said his family is number 1 member of his church. So he went to a conference with his, I think his son, and people are saying, he said, wait a minute, is my son, is he not a member of this church? So your family, give attention to your family. I tell you this, you can fail as a pastor, but if you don't fail as a father, as a husband, or as a wife, if you don't fail, you have not failed.
True.
You have not failed.
Wow.
So, I mean, the character you display, the integrity you exhibit, it should come from your family. Your legacy is being pronounced. Your legacy must be seen first from your family, from your children. Whether you like it or not, you are preaching and people are, hey, right on, pastor, another person can preach more than you. You are just using your time. And another person will come. Can your wife replace you? Can your children replace you? That is why you need to pay attention to them. That is my own personal opinion. And I'm not a reverend father. So reverend father is God. It's God church. So me is God family ministry. Because I have my family before my ministry. And my ministry will go one day and my family will still remain there.
Wow. 2 more questions, sir. And we have about 4 minutes left, but let's see what you can do. Now, studies have shown that a lot of people are dying today due to depression as a result of imbalance in the way they relate with family, friends, and people around them due to work. Also, social media is taking the place of relationship. What is your advice to us today, to people today about this?
I think I said it, number one. Pay attention to your family. Be intentional. Let me use the word again. Be intentional about loving your family. Be intentional. Don't cheat on your family. Cheat doesn't mean don't go with this thing. Spend quality time. I have my children with me, maybe about, I have biological and other children with me. I pay attention to them. I cry. I say cracking jokes with them. I just want to be happy. I want them to be happy. At times I can make them to be mad, but they are still my children. They can make me to be mad. I'm still their father.
Yeah.
No matter what, pay attention to them. Love them unconditionally. Don't expect them. Most of us will say, "Why? I'm sending them to school." Like I said, no, it's not enough. After now, in the next 10 minutes, after we finish, one of my sons will be traveling. I want to hug him because tomorrow is his birthday. I really want to hug him, tell him how much I love him. That goes a long way.
Yeah.
So any place, anywhere he is, he will remember the son of whom he is. Pay attention to your family. Yes, I know they are stressed, they are heart attack, they are this, they are that. But one thing I know, apart from natural death, apart from natural this, you cannot see anybody that is relating well with his wife, relating well with his children and the extended family, that he will just die of suicide, just like that, except it's psychological or maybe a kind of medical related. It's not, doesn't. That you lost millions on your business doesn't make you to go and commit suicide. Because if you look at your wife, you look at your children, you look at your siblings, and you know they still say, we love you, they are just telling you, go on, you have not finished. So pay attention to them. Give time, quality time to them.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. The other question, I think you also answered it. Somebody said, how can someone really reverently tell their boss to write things down instead of bothering with calls? I think you said this already. Every employee should have a conversation with their boss. I think that just answers it. There's a way, you've taught us the John Maxwell 360-degree leader. You must be able to lead at your level and lead those under you. So I think that answers the question. Please, I want to beg those of us joining us, give Reverend 5 more minutes. Reverend, there's a concept that you have been talking on. I think I want you to just share one of the concepts on the best use of your life, just as we wrap this up tonight.
Thank you. The best use of your life is a concept of, I said, you either tear your life apart. This is a new cloud, right? I can be rough with it today and I tear it. Something we can just hook it, maybe a nail, and it will tear. I can keep it for the next 5 or 6 or 7 years, not using it. It will still be new, but it will be what it will be. Fading. I use faded. No. It will be. I use the word corrosion. It will be corroded.
Corroding. Yeah.
It's corroding, just like that. Or maybe it will not. It will be outdated kind of a thing. The other thing is I can be using it and be washing it, using it, washing it, ironing it. Before you know, it will be kind of
wearing out or fading.
Wearing out. The way God called us is to wear out our life. God never wanted us to tear our life apart. God never wanted us to die the way he called us. And that is why he didn't kill us the day we were born. And that is why he saved us to pass. I mean, he kept us because he wants to use us gradually, that we will be fading gradually. Now, don't tear your life apart because you say you answer the call of God because you are pursuing money, you are pursuing a purpose. Never you tear yourself apart. Still many roads, still many miles for you to cover. Number 2, never you just go and rest and remain just like that, and you are doing nothing and you are flappy, tired. And no, don't do that. Don't do that. Life, your heart, let's use heart as an example. The expansion and contraction is what keeps life going. You must expose your life to a little bit of stress, a little bit of adventures, a little bit of things. You must expose your life to it so that, and then you'll be gathering momentum and you'll be moving up in the ladder of life. The third one is wearing. Use your life gradually, use it for the glory of God, use it for the honor of God, and you use it, for example, for 1 week, you dry clean it, you press it, that is, you rest a little bit, and you keep on doing it like that. You will be there till eternity.
Wow.
If there's anything like that.
Wow. The best use of life. Do not tear your life. Do not corrode it, but wear it gradually. Wow, Reverend, exactly. Thank you so much for this concept you have shared with us. And this brings us to the end of part 2 of maintaining balance for optimal productivity. And I believe that God has spoken to you in one way or the other. And I believe that we'll begin to hear testimonies of the things that you have heard here today that would help you from now and even to the future. Please don't forget to put in your comments and send us testimonies as we send you emails on how impactful these topics, this series has been to you and your family. Follow us on all our social media handles, stay connected, and get updates on more resources to help you throughout the year. I want to thank our host, Reverend Francis Olubambi, for taking out the time. You guys, I need to let you know, those of you joining us, that there's a lot of behind the scenes that Reverend does to get these things out. So God bless you, sir. God increase you and God strengthen you. May he keep giving you ideas on what to do. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know if you have any final comments before we wrap it up, sir.
No, thank you so much, Pibore. One thing, and you said it at the beginning, my heart And I think it should be the pursuit of everyone is to increase in our bar of excellence, that our bar of leadership will grow every year, every day, every month, that will be better and become better and be better every day until we get to meet with our God. We are not saying God have called us to be perfect same day, but we should work ourselves into perfection in the ministry and the calling of God for our lives.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. And watch out. There's so much more coming your way in the next half of the year. So we'll see you at the next half of the year. God bless you. Stay connected with us. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.